Hey, it's been a while. I moved and I've been really busy, but I need to talk about the DnD Direct stuff right now because it just happened and I actually don't have a kid and I have a chance to. But the two big new pieces of news that everyone's going to be talking about is obviously Spelljammer and Dragonlance. We're going to cover Dragonlance real quick. It doesn't even have cover art. This is to confirm that Spelljammer and Dragonlance are both going to be in this edition. Let's be real honest. That's all it's doing. And to keep hype so people don't feel like it was forgotten. Spelljammer is far more interesting to me because it looks like potentially the new model they're experimenting with. Because over the last year or so, Wizards has been experimenting with new models on how to release campaign settings. This is kind of their next answer to doing the box set campaign settings. They re-released Strahd as a special edition $100 box set, which I have. It's back there. Again, I moved. I'm not even done unpacking. But this is instead a slipcase, but it's 3 books, giant map, GM screen, and all the books are extra books just for Spelljammer. So it's basically all written material. I'm interested in this. The only worry I have, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more with some of the other products, is this more than anything tells me that, at least as far as we know it, we are now in the final act of 5th edition. This is them finishing out the edition. Now, does that mean the next one's going to be called 6th edition? Not necessarily. I think this one's become big enough that the full shift is going to be that anniversary re-release of the core books of 5th edition being updated, and that updated version is going to be it. But they're dropping 2 out of 3 of the most anticipated settings people have been waiting for with legacy settings to this edition. And that's not an accident. I mean, obviously it's Hasbro. But the other things that tell me this are the campaign cases. The other big, there's a few big announcements in this, but another one of the big ones that no one really saw coming unless you were doing a lot of digging were these campaign cases. One is a token case, which is the monsters, and one is a terrain case. Anyone who's been through the editions knows those come out in full force when they're basically running out of books. Now, I do like these. The token case has blank tokens and then static clings to change out what monsters are on the tokens, so they don't have to sell you as many of the tokens, and they just sell you a bunch of sheets of static clings, which is cheaper on their end. The terrain I actually really love because they're stone, like dungeon stone, and grass reversible, but they're blank, and then you get stat clings of terrain. This is also products competitors have been doing for a while. I kind of saw this coming as far back as the Ethros, the Greek setting. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm really tired right now. But when I picked up my pre-order for that, it came with a map, and it came with a thing of static cling sheets to put on the map. And I don't think everybody got those. I think they slid them out into some of the pre-orders as kind of a product testing, because I also got emailed asking like how I liked about them and everything. So they've been testing these. Now, along with that, we got the video game stuff, we got the movie stuff. We have a release date for the movie, which is cool, but I'm talking about the game right now. The big things here is their big announcements were settings and books we already know about coming into even more languages, which is a good thing. The only reason why I'm not saying it is the end of 5th, but instead of them going a whole new take on 5th, we're going to kind of hit the reset button, is 2 big things. First, a few weeks ago, Hasbro bought D&D Beyond. It's now just theirs. At first, I would think that would be meaning for 6th. But it also lets everybody stay in the ecosystem because they took it, and now there's stuff where you can get it on the Wizards account or on your D&D Beyond account. I need to check in. Maybe you get both at once, which would be nice too. Start shifting people over. The biggest reason I don't think it's going straight to 6th is the Spelljammer Monster Compendium that Volume 1 dropped, And it's a digital version, and they're comparing it to the second edition binders where you get little packs of monsters and you keep adding it to your binder, which means they're at least planning on doing volumes. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more them selling us small products. The static clings means you buy the base set, and then when you want more tokens, you just buy sheets of clings for cheap. And you buy the base terrain, and you buy some new terrain accessories as sheets of clings for cheap. These compendiums, you just buy the next volume. Volume 1's 10 monsters. It's not a book. It's not technically a microtransaction, but for TTRPGs, it's almost kind of a way to do that, where there are these little expansions. They're still going to be doing big stuff, but if these box sets pan out, like Spelljammer, which I have no doubt Spelljammer is going to do well. We've been waiting for it for so long. Plus, it's D&D in space. People are getting... people who 5th edition was their first taste of TTRPGs are starting to get tired of fantasy as well. And not like, well, I'm not tired of fantasy, so no. The overall community, for the first time in a long time, D&D has been taking a dip. Some of this might be everybody got really into stuff during quarantine and we're past it and all that, and we're coming out of that. The streaming actual play bubble has fully popped. Unless you're Critical Role or one of the really, really big names, even the top performers are getting like under 200 viewers at a time when it was over 1,000. We're past that prime, and I think they're shifting into a much more sustainable business model now that the bubble has burst, so that they can coast till the next bubble, which honestly, from a business standpoint, feels like it might not actually be an edition change just yet. They'll save that for when they need to make a bubble themselves with hype. Now, the other big thing is, and what could be a wild card, is they could out of nowhere announce that like a new edition comes with the movie. But the movie's coming out next year. They announced the release date at the event. It's March 3rd, 2023. We finally have a release date and a title, which, cool. It's centered around thieves. I'm hoping this is a roguey kind of tale. I love rogues. But unless they're doing it there, they're probably waiting for an edition after the hype of the movie and see where it goes and how it rides. So I'm still standing. I don't think we're going to expect a release date for a new edition till at least 2025, with an announcement maybe in 2023. I'm guessing earliest late 2023, 2024. But that's just kind of my take. I can't wait for Spelljammer, honestly. Also, it's helmed by Chris Perkins, and I'm not going to get into like slamming creators because everybody's good at different things, and it is a group effort, and even the stuff Chris Perkins is head of isn't perfect, but the books he tends to be in charge of are considerably better than the books some of the other creative leads tend to be in charge of. So I'm very happy with that. And if you're asking, like, well, what you have that, he was in charge of Strahd, he was in charge of Witchlight. That alone is enough for me to be willing, because while 5th edition's adventures aren't the best, those are top tier. And not just because you're a Strahd fanboy. No, it's just a better constructed campaign than most of the others. Witchlight was a very well constructed campaign. The only problem was the fact that each chapter was very distinctly made by a different person and had their own issues. But still, hands better than any of the others. We're not even going to talk about Strixhaven right now. I'm still disappointed. Anyways, this was a super fast update, and I'm not saying I'm back. If you've been wondering where our content is, go check out TikTok, because I've just been pumping out stuff there of editing like moments from games and using those as teachable moments and funny moments and stuff. So go check that out, because it's also just been easier while I've been so busy. But I'll catch you guys later. Bye.